On August 29, 2013, a 19-year-old college student sat alone in his car on a quiet stretch of highway in Northern California for nearly 13 hours. He didn't move. He didn't call for help. He didn't go home. He just waited. By the time anyone realized something was wrong, Bryce Laspisa had already vanished, and to this day, no one knows why. Bryce Laspisa grew up in Illinois, in what most people would describe as a stable, supportive home. He was intelligent, athletic, well-liked. He played soccer, did well in school, had close friends. There were no obvious warning signs, no criminal record, no history of running away, no pattern of reckless behavior. To everyone around him, Bryce seemed normal. In 2012, Bryce enrolled at Sierra College in Rocklin, California. It was his first real taste of independence. He lived with roommates, managed his own schedule, built a new life. At first, everything seemed fine, but slowly, subtle changes began to appear. Bryce started drinking more, using prescription medications, withdrawing from friends. Nothing extreme at first, just enough to raise quiet concerns. His girlfriend noticed he was becoming distant, less present, more unpredictable. By the summer of 2013, the changes were harder to ignore. Bryce had broken up with his girlfriend. He sold many of his belongings, including personal items he cared about. He gave some away, threw others out. To outsiders, it looked like someone letting go. On August 27th, Bryce called his mother, Karen. He sounded emotional and stable. He told her he had been drinking heavily, that he had been struggling. Karen immediately became concerned. She urged him to come home to Illinois. Bryce agreed. He packed his car and began the long drive east. But he never made it. Around 11 p.m. that night, Bryce stopped in Buttonwillow, California, a small town near Bakersfield. He called his parents, told them he was tired, that he would rest and continue in the morning. That seemed reasonable. They told him to sleep, to be safe, to call when he woke up. Hours passed, no movement, no progress. By morning, his parents grew uneasy. They called him. He answered, said he was fine, said he would leave soon. But he didn't. Around 8 a.m., Bryce was still parked in the same place. A truck stop, sitting in his car, not sleeping, not driving, just sitting. 4 hours. Concerned, Karen called roadside assistance. She asked them to check on him. When they arrived, Bryce appeared calm, coherent, not distressed. He told them he was just resting. They saw no reason to intervene. They left. Later that day, Highway Patrol also stopped to check on him. Again, Bryce said he was okay. No signs of intoxication. No threats of self-harm. No request for help. So again, they left. By evening, Bryce had been stationary for nearly 12 hours. His parents were terrified. They begged him to come home. They begged him to drive. He promised he would. At 11:09 p.m., Bryce finally started his engine. He drove south, not east. Not toward home, but deeper into California, toward the mountains. Shortly after midnight, Bryce's car was discovered abandoned near Costaic Lake. It had crashed down a rocky embankment, nearly 25 feet. The vehicle was badly damaged. Airbags deployed. Windows shattered. But inside, there was no Bryce. His phone, laptop, wallet, all left behind. The doors were unlocked. The engine was off. No blood, no clear signs of injury, just silence. Search teams arrived immediately. Helicopters, dogs, divers, hundreds of volunteers. They searched the surrounding hills, the lake, the forest. For days, then weeks, then months, nothing, no body, no clothing, no confirmed sighting, no trace. Investigators examined the crash. They determined something strange. The impact wasn't accidental. The car had been deliberately driven off the road, straight, controlled, intentional, not a loss of control, a choice. This raised terrifying questions. Was Bryce trying to end his life? Was it a cry for help? Did he survive the crash and walk away? Or was someone else involved? Some witnesses later reported seeing a young man near the lake that night. Others claimed Bryce had been seen at a nearby truck stop days later. None were confirmed. All were dead ends. Psychologists reviewing the case noted troubling patterns. Giving away possessions, emotional instability, withdrawal, prolonged indecision. These are often associated with severe depression and suicidal ideation, but Bryce never said goodbye. Never wrote a note. Never asked for help. His parents refused to give up. They organized searches. Hired private investigators. Followed every lead. For years. Every rumor. Every possible sighting. Every phone call. Nothing led anywhere. Over time, theories multiplied. That Bryce walked into the wilderness and died. That he hitchhiked and started a new life. That he suffered a mental break. That he drowned in the lake. That he was harmed by someone. None could be proven. What makes this case so haunting is not just the disappearance. It's the waiting. 13 hours. With multiple chances to accept help. Multiple people trying to intervene. Multiple exits. And still, he stayed. Somewhere in that long night, Bryce made a decision. We just don't know what it was. Today, Bryce Laspisa remains missing. He would be in his 30s. His family still waits. Still hopes. Still wonders. What went through his mind in that car? Why didn't he drive home? Why didn't he ask for help? Why didn't he leave a message? This isn't a story about failure. It's a story about how invisible pain can be. How someone can seem okay, while falling apart inside. If you or someone you know is struggling, help is available. You are not alone. And your story is not over. The disappearance of Bryce Laspisa reminds us, sometimes, the greatest mysteries aren't about what happened, but about what we never saw. If you have any information about Bryce's disappearance, contact the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. And if you value responsible true crime storytelling, like the video, subscribe to True Tales USA and hit the notifications bell, so you don't miss the next story.